If you are even remotely interested in movies, and I have to imagine you are to some degree because you're here learning about how to make your own videos, you've got to be familiar with the dolly zoom effect, made famous by Alfred Hitchcock in his movie Vertigo, but who could forget that iconic scene in Jaws? Friend, directors have been using the dolly zoom effect throughout cinema history, and we're even seeing it creep up into popular TV shows today like Severance and many others. Friend, I'm gonna do my best to try and recreate the dolly zoom effect using one static camera on a tripod, and I'll tell you exactly how I plan to do it. Right now, I'm sitting in front of a green screen. There you go. I'm sitting in front of a green screen because I wanna separate myself, the subject, from the background. And here's what I plan to do. I'm gonna take these two clips, drop them into my timeline in Premiere Pro. I'm gonna start with a wide shot of me, the subject, also do a wide shot of the background behind the green screen, and I'll put them together. My plan, we'll see if this works, is to start wide on me, but a close-up of the background, and I'm gonna keyframe the scale position settings in Premiere Pro. As I zoom in or scale up on me, the subject, I'm simultaneously going to scale out on the background. And my hope for this is that as I do those together, it's gonna simulate that warping, distorted dolly zoom effect. Again, as I record this intro right now, I've never tried this before. I have no idea if this is gonna work. So we are gonna find out if this works together. Let's get started and wish me luck. The first thing I need to do now that I'm in Premiere is to pull my two clips onto the timeline. And the first clip I'm going to start with is my background shot. And I can actually pull this up here in the source monitor. I don't need audio, so I'm just going to pull the image. There we go. So I'm starting with my background shot because I need to get this looking the way that I want it to be. Now, I was filming in a small space. I shot this with a 28mm lens because I am trying to get wide here. This is opening me up to the possibility of being able to zoom in, or at least create the illusion that I'm zooming in or out. I filmed this in C-Log 3, so the image is dull and flat. So we got to color this up a little bit. I'm just going to put an input LUT Rec 709. Let's find the one that I like to use here. We went Cinema Gamut C-Log 3 to BT 709. There we go. So we've got some colors there. Now, one other thing I am going to do, because this is my background shot, I'm going to grab what's called a Gaussian blur, or Gaussian blur, I believe is how it's actually pronounced. I'm going to drag that onto this layer. It's going to give it this soft blur that might even be too much, so we can pull that back a little bit. Let's do 15. This is a separate layer from my subject or myself that we're going to put on top of this layer. I want to simulate a bokeh effect. So I typically will shoot my videos around 1.8 to 2.8 aperture, and I'm trying to create that effect here by just adding a blur to my background. So now that we have the general color of this clip and we have the blur added to the background, I'm going to bring in my second layer, which is the green screen. I did a couple of takes, one where I'm staring right down the barrel of the camera, and I did another where I'm kind of looking off into the distance. So if you can remember the scene from Jaws, he's looking past the camera, right? He's looking out into the ocean and he sees the shark come up. And that's when that dolly zoom hits. So I tried to recreate that a little bit. I'm going to set an in and out point here. Here I go. I'm thinking. Yeah, it's a very subtle reaction, and we're going to stop there. So we'll pull this in. I really don't know if this is going to work, but it's fun to think about it. Okay. So now we have this clip. Okay. Mind you, if I play any of this back and it looks a little blurry and grainy, I have an old computer, and so I'm playing this back at 1/8 the resolution, the playback resolution. So that's why things look a little fuzzy. That's the reason. I will be exporting this and putting this back into the video. So the final product that you see here will be exported and you'll be able to play it, no lag, and it'll be crystal clear. So now we got to do some work. We got to get rid of that green screen and everything you see behind it. So I'm going to do this really fast. We're going to start with a quick crop. And I do not have to be perfect because I am not moving at all. I am going to pull this down a little bit. Let's go right there. Okay. So I can pull this over, just a really rough outline. And the reason I do this, you don't actually have to create a mask when you're keying out a green screen. The reason I do this is because I only then have to worry about the green that's here. If the green screen is uneven, and you can tell there's a hot spot here from a light that I had pretty close to me, versus down here where it's a little bit darker, I would have to worry about everything else that you're seeing off in the edges. You saw that my green screen only went to about here on either side. So by adding a little crop like this, it really helps the computer worry about only the areas that need to be worried about. So I'm just going to do a really loose shape around my head. I'll bring this in a bit tighter to my arms. Okay. Got the chair there. That's okay. The chair can stay. Okay. And make sure that's far enough away from my arm. Okay. So that's a decent crop. Let's see what we have so far. That's what we've got. Let me bring this back into fit so that we can see better. Told you, old computer problems. Alrighty, so I need to add my my Rec 709 onto this clip as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Cinema Gamut C-Log 3 to BT 709. That's the color that we are working with right now. And we need to key out that green screen. So we're going to go to our effects controls here, and we're going to type in Ultra Key. And there it is. Pull that right onto that second layer. Now the fun part. We knew we could key out the green screen. We knew we could bring in our background and fake the look of me sitting where I am in the room, but it's the dolly zoom that we're unsure of. So friend, this is where it's about to get real interesting. I'm actually going to jump back to the editing workspace here. And I think what needs to happen is I need to start wide on myself, but I need the background to be much closer than it is. Let's go ahead and just pull that. I can't go too close or it's going to look unnatural. But I want to be nice and centered on the desk there in the background. There we go. That looks like just about every one of my videos. Okay. So now we want to be wide on me. And the trick here is that we want to punch in or zoom in on me, the subject, while simultaneously pulling out from the background. And this is how we're going to attempt to create the dolly zoom effect. So I'm going to set a keyframe, scale, and position only because I don't know if I need to wiggle myself around. As I zoom in, I'm probably going to have to pull my face down to the center of the screen. So we'll start there. And then I'm also going to set keyframes for the background. To make this as simple as possible, I'm going to pull myself all the way to the end. So all the way end of the timeline. So the background has to get pulled out. So the background, we want to pull probably as far back as we can without it, there we go, without it coming off the screen. So I can probably go right about there. And at the same time, I'm going to bring myself much closer to the camera. Now, I don't know if it's going to make a difference if I move myself, but let's just see. Let's just see what happens. First time I'm taking a look at this. I have no idea if it's going to work. We're going to find out together. Let's take a look. Okay, see, old computer problems. So I think the clip is actually a little too long because my reaction doesn't come in until right about here. So I think what we need to do is take our initial keyframes, and this is going to make it speed up too. The closer these dots are together, the faster that zoom is going to happen. So I'm going to pull this in. I can ripple delete that, bring it back to the beginning. So let's try this. Let's see what happens now. Okay, old computer problems once again. It doesn't want to play it back because it's tired. I'll upgrade my... If anybody has a connection to Apple, let me know. I'm in the market. All right, friend. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pleasantly surprised. What I'm going to do now is export this clip and drop it into the video. So when you're watching this back, just know we did the edit because it's coming out choppy because I have an old tired computer. I want you to be able to see the finished product. So I might make a few tweaks here, but you at least have the idea of what I've done so far. And I'm going to show you the final result. Let's take a look together. Friend, I got to ask, are you just as surprised as I am that that actually worked? I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Friend, the whole reason I made this video is because one, it's fun to shoot videos and try new things, but I want to encourage you to try new things, to experiment with your camera. All of the amazing effects and things that we're seeing in theaters today came from somebody who had an idea once and decided to try it on camera. A lot of what you try isn't gonna work, and that's okay, but you might just find that something like this actually can be pulled off. So friend, maybe this is helpful. Maybe you'll try to use this effect yourself, and you could probably even do it better than I can. I would love to see that if you share that with me, by the way. But I just wanna encourage you to always be trying new things. Don't be afraid to fail or make mistakes, because in this industry, that's what it's all about, is being creative and trying new things. Friend, before you go, let me give you a free gift for spending this time with me. It's my 6 steps to creating better video guide. I do walk you through everything from idea to export to help you craft and create your own videos, your own personal movies, if you will. It's a downloadable PDF that you can get right on my website. It's guidedproductions.com/bettervideoguide, or you can just click the link in the description below. But that is my free gift to say thanks for going on this journey and figuring out that this thing actually works. With that out of the way, friend, I hope this was fun for you to watch. I hope it was as much fun for you as it was for me, probably quite surprising as well. But have an amazing day. Experiment with your video ideas, and I will see you on another video real soon.